to talk about innovation like it's the holy grail of business. Who hasn't heard innovate or die? But here's the thing. Sometimes innovation is the thing that kills organizations. Yeah, I said it. Let me explain though before you stop right there. There's this dangerous myth in business that independence and innovation should be everywhere, all the time. Every department, every team, every single person, a little Elon Musk in their own corner. Sounds great, right? Wrong. Because here's the reality. Independence at scale is often the death knell for organizations. When everybody's chasing their own next big thing, what you really get is chaos. Like putting 200 rowers on a ship and everyone's rowing in their own direction and wondering, why is the boat spinning in circles? Now, in a scrappy little startup, that type of chaos, it tends to work. Think of it like a rowboat. If you've only got a handful of innovators, they can turn the boat left or right and suddenly, boom, you've pivoted into the next big idea. And that's the startup magic. That's what takes you from a garage out back to a high-rise in Chicago. But once you grow, you're not in a rowboat anymore. You're in a whole new type of ship. A trireme, on your way to be part of the Fortune 500 fleet. And if everyone in your organization is rowing in a different direction, you just don't go anywhere. You just burn energy while slowly sinking under the weight of your own ideas. This is where people can get stuck, thinking that if they give up innovation, they lose the momentum that got them to those big ideas. They think structure and alignment, that's going to kill the creativity. And they think top-down goals, those are the enemy of innovation. But truthfully, it's the opposite. If the ship has a clear navigator, someone keeping the rhythm, and everyone pulling in sync, guess what? Now the innovators on board are free to do what they do best. Look ahead, chart the next destination, and figure out how to get there faster. This is why the smartest companies don't try to turn the entire organization into a giant innovation lab, where every new idea is fighting its way to the top. Instead, they carve out innovation think tanks, dedicated teams whose job it is to push the boundaries while the rest of the company keeps the oars in the water and the boat moving forward. Innovation is the sail. It catches the wind and drives you forward. Stability is the hull. It keeps you afloat and balanced. Just sails, you capsize. Just a hull, you drift. Together, you actually voyage. A really good example of this is actually Google X. This is also called the Moonshot Factory. And that's not just a cool nickname, it's an actual separate division inside of Alphabet. Their entire mission is to dream up wild ideas. Self-driving cars, internet balloons, delivery drones, while the core Google business keeps the search engine, ads, and cloud services running like clockwork. The point isn't that every moonshot works. In fact, most don't. But by keeping innovation carved out in a separate think tank, Google doesn't risk breaking the entire business every time someone says, hey, what if we reinvent transportation? It's structured freedom. The big ship sails forward, and the pitman manages the sails. When we step back and we look at the big picture, there's a lot of ways that innovation kills organizations, especially if you don't manage it right. Here's 7 examples that I want to walk through real quick to tell you how that happens. Number 1, chasing shiny objects. Companies sometimes pursue innovation for its own sake, not because it aligns with their core strengths or customer needs, but resources then get wasted on flashy ideas that really don't pay off, while the bread and butter business ends up starving. 2, damaging core business scope. Radical innovation can undermine existing products or services that are still profitable. If a company pushes too aggressively towards the next big thing, it may erode the stability that funds future innovation. 3, overstretching your resources. Innovation often requires big investment in R&D, talent, and marketing. If leadership spreads the company too thin, it risks burning through capital and exhausting teams before anything actually lands. 4. Alienating customers. Not every customer wants constant reinvention. Some value reliability and continuity. If innovation changes the project too fast, loyal users may feel abandoned and defect to those more stable competitors. 5. Cultural backlash. Internal teams can resist or resent innovation, especially if it threatens jobs or makes old expertise obsolete. Without a strong change management plan, innovation sparks turf wars, politics, and unfortunately, disengagement. 6. The disruption trap. Ironically, companies can disrupt themselves into irrelevance if they chase trends without understanding the market. They erode brand identity and confuse stakeholders. Lastly, 7. Failure to scale. An idea might be brilliant in pilot mode, but impossible to scale profitably. Companies that bet everything on unscalable innovations risk collapse when reality sets in. Innovation itself isn't inherently good or bad. It kills organizations when it's pursued without discipline, strategy, and alignment with both customers and the company's capabilities. It works when it's intentional, measured, balanced against what's already working. When companies balance discipline with creativity, when 75% of the organization is focused on stability, process, execution, and 25% is carved out for future-facing ideas, that is when innovation actually works. It's not about killing creativity. It's about building a platform where creativity can actually thrive instead of drowning in its own noise. Bottom line, innovation kills organizations when it's everywhere, all the time, and uncontrolled. But innovation saves organizations when it's disciplined, aligned, and launched from a stable foundation. So next time someone tells you we need more innovation, just smile and say no. We need structure, consistency, stability, and a place to safely innovate. Because the companies that win, they're the ones rowing in sync while still building rockets for tomorrow. If you got value from this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. And I'll see you next time.